Did you know that almost every pistol I own is 9mm? I'm going to tell you why I recommend that. My name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer, if you have no idea who I am. But let's get down to business. So I own a lot of guns. I own more guns you can shake a stick at. I have multiple gun safes, including those ginormous gun safes that, what was the one when I had to move it 1,500 pounds? And it's just bulging at the seams. So I own a lot of guns, long guns, pistols. And the vast majority, dare I say, almost every single pistol I own is 9mm. This includes some of the ones we're looking at here. For instance, this is a Remington RP9, great little gun, which gets no respect, as I always say. It's the Rodney Dangerfield of handguns. But this is 9mm. And also, this is going to be blasphemy to some folks. This is a 1911. I own a lot of 1911s. I love 1911s. But yes, this is a 9mm 1911. So guess what? I don't care what everybody else says, meaning, hey, if it's, it's got to have a 400 to stop. I care what I shoot best, what I'm the most accurate with, and what will do the job, and that is 9mm. And then lastly here, this one is one of the pocket guns that I carry all the time. This bad boy is my 6-hour P365, and yes, this is 9mm also. So why are the vast majority of my guns 9mm? Well, first, it's cheaper. These days, of course, ammo costs have skyrocketed and was very expensive. It's hard to find. There's still some places where you got to go stand in line. I remember in my small town in Utah not too long ago, I was driving by our Sportsman's Warehouse and there was a line of people waiting for it to open. And of course, it's like, what's going on? And it happened to be ammo delivery day. So like every Wednesday morning, they're delivering ammo, people get in line and they go get 2 boxes or whatever they're rationing it these days. So ammo is still scarce. But 9mm is a lot cheaper for training purposes. When you are training, you want to use training ammo. That means ball ammo, the cheap stuff. What you were using for self-defense, aka home defense or walking around when I have this gun in my pocket, you want more expensive ammo. And for instance, I use Hornady or Spear Gold Dot. The training ammo, as I said, is full metal jacket, ball ammo, whatever you want to call it. The self-defense ammo is going to be jacketed hollow point rounds. So hollow point ammo, Spear Gold Dot, Hornady costs a lot more money. But it's 9mm, so it's still cheaper from the other calibers that you want to buy. Another reason I like 9mm is, guess what? It gets the job done. It's not 1950 anymore, or it's not 50 years ago, 100 years ago, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, where bullet technology wasn't that great. And you wanted to make sure you had 45. You wanted to make sure you had a higher, or AKA larger caliber. So bullet technology has come a tremendous amount of ways. I mean, all the things they can do with it, all the engineering, all the science. So 9mm can get the job done. In my home defense safe, I have 2 guns. I have rapid access safes because I have small children. Right now, and I've got to think because I have so many guns that are rotating them out. One of them is a 6-hour P226, 9mm. And the other one is a Walther Creed, 9mm. I am very, very confident that if, heaven forbid, my alarm goes off or I hear the front door getting kicked in or glass, that I can grab my gun in there, which is a 9mm, as I just mentioned, and go through my house. And if I have to, heaven forbid, use this gun to defend myself, to defend my family, it will do the job. Obviously, if I didn't believe that, if I hadn't trained with the agency, with numerous other organizations I can't mention, if I hadn't seen the results in 9mm, if I hadn't seen all the training scenarios I've been through do the job, well, then I wouldn't carry it. So I'm married, I've got 6 kids. Obviously, my wife and kids are the most important thing in the world. And I know 9mm gets the job done, especially when you're paying more for a self-defense round. As I said, Spear Gold Dot, Hornady, critical duty, critical defense. One of those rounds is going to do you fine. Of course, many people know that not too long ago, the FBI went to 9mm. So they said, hey, we're not using larger calibers anymore. The FBI, even though they screw up a lot of things, they do great tests when it comes to ammo. So once they tested all the new ammo, they said, hey, it can go through glass just the same as larger calibers. It goes through fabric, it goes through whatever their tests encompass. It's got very, very similar traits to the higher calibers, which is why the FBI switched back to 9mm. Other bonuses of 9mm is, for a full-size gun, you can obviously hold a lot more rounds than you can for a 45. Same thing with my 9mm here, 1911. I can hold more rounds in here than if I'm using a 45 1911. And guess what? 9mm is easier to shoot, easier to absorb that recoil. So if I'm coming out here, I'll just shoot there, nobody's behind this camera now. If I come out here and I gotta fire, the recoil, boom, it's not gonna rise, the muzzle rise is not gonna be as high as a 45, and guess what? I can get back on target quicker for a follow-up shot. Now, if you're watching this, you may be saying, hey Jason, why are you slightly turning your head and closing your right eye? Well, that is because I am right-handed, but I'm left eye dominant. If I try to keep both eyes open, it's blurry, I don't shoot very well, so for me to fire, when I come out, I've got to slightly cock my head, that way my left eye lines up this front sight so I can see. And guess what? If you're right-handed and left eye dominant, do the same thing. You're still gonna shoot fine, you're still gonna be great. I've heard some nonsense from instructors like, oh, you need to learn to shoot left-handed, or you must keep both eyes open, or whatever. All that's nonsense. You'll be a fine shooter. You'll be able to stop the threat if you are cross-eye dominant like I am, so no big deal. But anyways, I was saying that it's easier to shoot, the recoil's less. So maybe your wife, maybe somebody else who's not as comfortable with firearms, who doesn't spend a lot of time shooting, you don't want to take them to the range and have them shoot a 45 or a 50 cal or whatever, some crazy large caliber, right? 9mm is fine. Anybody can absorb or handle the absorption of this recoil. Anybody can handle 9mm. So those I think are all the reasons. Maybe I forgot who knows, doesn't matter. Those are the reasons almost every single gun I own is a 9mm. That includes the Canic that I own. They got so many funny endings to names to the guns these days. Canic, what is it, the SF-TP9, TP9SF? I don't remember. My Walther Creed, my Walther PPQ, my Springfield XD, my Glock 19, my Glock 17, my Glock 26.
Several hours later.
CZ P10C, that is a 9mm. My SIGs, my SIG P250, my SIG P320. I already talked about my SIG P226, my SIG SP2022, all 9mm. All right, I'm gonna go because I wanna go shoot some guns, which is what I do after I talk about them, because I'm very blessed to have a 320-acre Spy Ranch. But if you wanna know more about guns, know about training, make sure you click on the link below. You're gonna learn some stuff I promise you've not heard before. Again, my name is Jason Hanson. I'm a former CIA officer. Like, subscribe, turn on the ring notification bell, and go shoot some guns.